Now, coming towards the types of C variables, as we have discussed in a previous video about the C constants, we also have the types of C variables as well. And C variables includes integer variable, float variable, and character variable. So again, integer variable are the numbers, those numbers that can change throughout your program because it's a variable, right? It varies, it changes. Now we have float, or you can say real variable, means that those numbers that has a decimal point, and these values can also change throughout your program because it's a variable, right? Then we have a character variable. That means a character variable can hold only a character constant, but a character variable is declared by reserved word char, mean character. Okay, if you're just declaring a character variable, then you have to define that character variable by a char, and we're going to be discussing that later on. Okay, let me just make it clear to you guys right over here. Okay, integer variable. If you want to put an integer variable in your C program, first you should write int. That stands for integer. That is short form of integer is int, and you can write any variable like a, b, c, or anything like that. And this is how you assign integer variable in your C program. Then we have float variable. Okay, you can define float here as float, and you must put a semicolon, and I'll tell you why. Okay, this is also a semicolon. It's not a colon. It's been a mistake here. And then we have a is equals to 5.5, g is equals to 6.8. These are all the float variables. And then we have character variables that is represented by char. And then you can just write a variable, and then you can assign values to character values to that variable. Okay, now we have some rules for constructing variable names. A variable name is any combination of 1 to 8 characters, but we can give up to 256. Okay, like you can give the variable names up to 256 in your C program. Now guys, these are the limitations that you must be considering. Okay, the first character is the variable name must be an alphabet or underscore. If you're writing your variable name, right, so you cannot start this name with a you can say with a comma or with a special symbol, because it would be considered wrong and the C program will give you an error. So the first character in the variable name must be an alphabet, just like here it's A is in alphabet, right? And then it can be an underscore A as well, because that's acceptable. Then there's no commas or blanks are allowed within a variable name. You cannot really put commas or blanks with this A, okay? Now, except this semicolon. This semicolon really means something else in the C program. You can also call this semicolon right over here a terminator that ends your statement. Okay, I'll make this clear to you guys when we are writing our program. Okay, no special symbols rather than underscore can be used in a variable name. As I told you, variable name must be meaningful, obviously. Okay, then take a look here. These are the examples of the variable names. You can really put an underscore, but not commas, spaces, or anything. But here, these commas are just to separate these examples, okay? It doesn't mean that they're with them, no. These rules remains the same for all types of primary and secondary variables. Now, you should be considering these rules for the variable names, and that's it, okay?